Oh, who is that guy showing up on this channel? Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Chris Baroni behind the beard, and I just wanted to make a video with regards to the lake. Some of you may have seen the YouTube video I put up of the disgusting, smelly and getting worse lake problem that we have with regards to all the dead fish. To address this issue and to ensure people have a kind of, we start off on a foundation of truth, because Harriet Cohen, Hal Siegel, Yvette, Touquest, Allan, they're not going to be honest with you. They've never been honest with you, and the reason why we're in this situation is because of their dishonesty with you. Produce the contract with the lake management company. When that doesn't happen, because it won't, because there isn't one, and Harriet Cohen lies so very easily to you guys, and some of you are so gullible, it's scary. Echo Lake was not the lake manager, okay? Show us the contract. There isn't one. You're not going to find one. I know who they are. I know them well. That said, Clear Lake or something like that was the other one that supposedly was Bonnie Simo's son that worked there, and they claimed that it wasn't him they were working with, which, whatever that meant, but it was the owner, so, okay. They were there at the lake. Okay. There's a couple things I noticed that you guys should pay attention to. One, where are the fish? Well, the fish weren't anywhere near where the aerators are. Well, why is that? Well, I think I have a good reason, but we can figure that out and speculate a little more at another time. So where were they? They were at where a lot of the inlets were. You could see where the artesian wells were, the outlets for the artesian wells, and then the inlet, or I say the outlet, but the inlet coming into the lake from where the creek is. And there's a good reason why they're there. And that's where they were going to be getting water that isn't toxic, okay? So those of you who have animals, keep your pets away from the lake. Obviously, keep your children away from the lake. I was there yesterday. There was no issues. I did have an opportunity. 2 kids were playing in their backyard, but they had a wall and gate, and it was locked. Very nice, very kind to the parents who were raising those kids. You've got some brilliant kids and great personalities and absolutely awesome and smart. So, and they got it. They understood even more than I think some on the board as far as what was happening and the reasons why. So the potential for the algae bloom to absorb oxygen in the water is a very high probability. The reason why there's algae is because of neglect from the board, not from the companies that they're going to try to point fingers at because they don't have contracts with them, do they? Do you, Harriet Cohen? You don't have a contract with anybody for the lake, do you, Harriet Cohen? No, you don't. Hal Siegel, Yvette, you have a contract with the management company? Allan, do you have a contract with them? You do not. You're full of shit. Quit lying to everybody. Take ownership of your monumental fuck-ups, because you created them with all of your vicious bullshit lies, and you're only seeing, the rest of you, a portion of what's to come. Unfortunately, I'm not saying that with any joy. I'm still in this association. The other issue is you have like their mindless drones and pets, so they would be Mary Double Agent Moussard or Woods, whatever she wants to go by, Jan Weber. You have Mike Hayward, and Mike, somebody sent me something, I guess, on Nextdoor about you saying this happens every couple years. You're not that stupid, so I'm not sure why you'd say something so stupid, or maybe you are. I can tell you this much, it doesn't happen every couple years, and it's completely preventable if you do your job and you quit licking the boots of the people who are on the board currently, okay? Because we know you were a David Smith bootlicker too, all right? Don't be trying to go on Nextdoor telling people it happens every couple of years and bullshit your neighbors. Why don't you have some integrity? The reality of it is, this doesn't happen and should never happen every couple of years. It happens when David Smith screwed up and wasn't taking care of the lake as he was contractually obligated to do. And it's happening again many years later, many years later, because the board, the current morons, haven't hired a management company to take care of the lake. Now, 3 of the stooges, Harriet Cohen, Hal Siegel, and Yvette Touquest, live on the lake. Okay? You all talking about, oh, we got to have a lake committee. All you're trying to do is pawn off responsibility onto other people. If you want a lake committee, there's one right now. There's a lake committee right now. Take a look on Nextdoor and other social media outlets. That's your lake committee, right? The reality of it is you're not going to be able to push off your responsibilities onto a committee because you're too lazy to do the work yourself. So you better grab yourself by the bootstraps, get your asses out on that lake, the board, and start picking up dead fish and leaving trash bags full of shit all day sitting over there by Diane Lifeset's house. Are you guys nuts? You get an animal, a raccoon or some shit in that thing and drag that all over the place? How stupid are you? I mean, don't answer that because it's beyond stupid. I mean, how you were out there picking up fish. Why'd you leave the bag sitting there? Are you that lazy? Did you think that you were going to get the maintenance team to do it? What happened to that? You guys aren't running anything. You're ruining everything. And you're not being honest. You're not being sincere with the HOA and with the people that live in the neighborhood that aren't a part of the HOA. And those of you as part of the HOA, listen, it didn't happen when I was around and would never happen when I was around. And I'm going to tell you just straight up, those of you and many of you who've contacted me, listen, I'm a part of this HOA and a part of this neighborhood, and it sucks. But you've seen nothing yet. Mark my words, this video doesn't disappear, as do any of the other ones that I've made. You haven't seen anything yet because many of you have lived in your cocoons for long enough and then say, well, I don't want to get involved in the politics. Well, great. Don't get involved. But then you don't have much to say right now. You're allowing people who lied to you, who've cheated you, and are stealing from you right now to get their way because you didn't want to be involved in whatever politics. I don't know if you have a choice anymore, do you? How does it smell? Probably not very good. So this is also the repercussion for trying to pretend that you can just be neutral in this entire thing. Well, that smell ain't neutral. That pH balance in that lake isn't neutral. That's toxic water. Keep your kids, dogs, animals away from it. All right? If it's a golden algae bloom, which is a guess, educated guess, sucking out a lot of that oxygen, then you have toxins in that lake from algae that you don't need to go to. The salmonella potential, okay? Potential. Saying that there is because somebody might have. Don't say that, don't know. That is the potential when you have dead fish, dead animals, things of that nature, becomes much greater. So keep this in mind. The board has no management company and no contract. They don't allow you to ask any questions because they're cowards. Michael Allan is a coward. Hal Siegel is a coward. Harriet Cohen is a coward. And so is Yvette Touquest. They're cowards. That's why you won't be getting any answers to questions at board meetings because they're too scared and too stupid to know the answers. And they think they're smart enough by at least not trying that they wouldn't out themselves for what they don't know, which is pretty much everything they don't know. Okay? They don't have proper representation in court, as the court has had to tell them, admonish them, and issue an order like, where's your attorney? Because Tom Ware is a lying piece of shit, and his whole entire law firm is as well. They had no business interfering in our election, had no business interfering in our recall, really, and had no business representing the, quote, association when he wasn't the association's attorney. And the reason why he's not representing us in the other cases is because he knows that. And so does Judge Shirley Watkins, Department T of Van Nuys. This whole thing's been a fucking hoax. And this video is going to stay up, and we'll see who's eventually right. Because all the shenanigans and the corruption that are going on in Van Nuys and Los Angeles in the courtrooms are going to be uncovered. They already are. And the reality of it is, this is a part of it. You've got 4 morons doing David Smith's dirty work. And you all are paying for it. That's the end. there's a hell of a lot more coming. And if things continue along this line, this is going to be just the beginning, unfortunately. But again, those of you that don't want to play politics or don't want to get involved or take a side, you have a choice. And you made yours. I don't agree with it. I respect it. But then don't come crying and complaining when things like this happen. All right? Some of us had to step up and do something about it. So that's all I got to say. Please be careful around that lake. I was down there yesterday. It is bad. It is nasty. And it is toxic. I can't express that enough. I can't believe that there aren't flyers going around or something telling people of what's going on. Tape, anything. It's bad. Please stay away from the lake. And I don't have anything else to say.